Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, welcome to the Thursday KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah, we go. It's almost time for the weekend, bitches.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I am too. I'm very pumped up about this weekend because this now starts it all. Football season is here. I love football. Boy, that's my favorite. This is my time. I've always loved fall.
Is this the first regular season games or no?
Well, yeah, technically.
Okay.
If you're talking, there's really only one, a game that might mean something on Saturday. So they're calling it, and it's very confusing, they're calling it week 0, which is like, wait, what?
Huh?
They really kind of gets going next weekend, but yeah, there is one game on Saturday in college to watch. But then you got, some preseason games, which are just fun to check out as well. And high school football got going on. I know you guys don't follow that, but last Friday, there was a big old battle that happened. It was American Heritage Plantation against IMG Academy that they had in Plantation. Do you know what IMG is? It is in a sense, it's a boarding school. And so my buddy Steve Walsh used to run it, and he used to be a Miami Hurricanes quarterback, and he was in there. And I said, well, how do you find your players for your football team? He said, we open up the book because they rank all the best players in high school, and we invite the top 75.
Oh, wow.
And so you're out there, and it's all these kids that are playing are the absolute best of the best at IMG. And so they beat everybody, and they played American Heritage Plantation that wins state champ. I think they're the reigning Florida State champ, and they kind of made them look silly. So
IMG.
They have kids from all over the country.
Are they new on the scene?
I would say probably newer, as in like the last 10 years. I'm not sure exactly when they opened up and started doing this, but now that's what it is. So pretty much like you look at their team and it's like 5 kids are going to Alabama, 5 to Ohio State, 5 are going to Clemson. So it's like they're going to the best college programs. It's the best of the best in high school.
But the knock on all that usually is you're building an all-star team, essentially. Now you're beating the shit out of everybody.
And I'm not even sure if they're allowed to compete in the state championships and all that. I don't think they can. I think that they go around, they'll play national teams. In fact, there's going to be some games that they're going to be playing on national TV. I think they play this weekend. If you want to check them out, they're going to have them. Yeah, IMG is going to be on ESPN Sunday at 1:30, so you can see them. They're out of Bradenton.
And it's a boarding school.
It's a boarding school, but they are good at everything. Like any sport IMG has, you're just there to get your ass whooped by IMG.
Wow.
Is what it is.
Gosh, that was always the worst, knowing you were going into sudden death playing a team that was going to just kick the fuck out of you. Everybody knew it.
Right. And
it's so...
And American Heritage hung with them for a half. I'm like, okay, go. And then the last half, they just, took over. And but it's just not even. I mean, when your best in Florida can't keep up with the team, they're pretty good.
Because they have an all-star team.
It's an all-star. It's a national all-star team is what that high school is. And then St. Thomas Aquinas is going to be on ESPN. They're out of Fort Lauderdale on Saturday at noon, so you can watch that as well. And there's some other really good games going on. You got what is the Catholic school that is by my house, Virginia? Cardinal Newman.
Oh, Cardinal Newman.
Jack Daniels, the coach who used to be at Dwyer and won a bunch of state championships there. He's now the coach at Cardinal Newman, and they play Kings on Friday. So
okay.
That's going to be a big game. So I'm excited about all that. So that's going on this weekend. So that's some good, exciting stuff. Do you guys have anything exciting going on this weekend?
I am balls deep into the KVJ horror movie right now. So any kind of free time I have in my personal time, so it doesn't affect the show, I've got things scheduled. And I'm excited because this weekend I'm going to be filming some KVJ Nationers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to get, I want this to be a family affair, get everybody involved. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be filming 3 people on Friday. And I do need some more extras, so keep sending the emails in.
Yeah, you got the ones that I gave you, right?
I did. did, yeah.
Cool.
Some people have reached out and I haven't got a hold of them. The other problem is because my number went out, I'm having a tough time keeping. I've had a lot of people constantly fuck me over through the phone.
Well, that's what happens when you leave the back door open.
They go balls deep, so I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited.
I think they go balls deep. You just take it like a bitch.
I can go balls deep too.
Okay.
I have balls, so I could go balls deep. That was the Snack Packs dodgeball team name, balls deep. So they had that on their shirt and walking around the Palm Beach Gardens Community Center like, guys, balls deep.
That's amazing. I have mad respect for anybody who has the balls to do that.
Mm-hmm. And Virginia, your big plans?
I am going to be at the Stars Ball breakfast on Saturday morning. It is time to start the whole thing because, we rescheduled the Stars Ball and it's coming up October 23rd. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow morning we meet the Stars for the Stars Ball breakfast. And then after that, I am heading up to Tradition in Port St. Lucie for Burgers, Brews, and Blues.
Okay.
It's a little hamburger festival with
Okay.
live music at Tradition Square.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, yeah.
There's so many cool little restaurants all around there in Tradition Square, so I'm kind of excited. My friend who's a foodie is going to meet me up there, and we're going to hop around. There's like a Japanese place, a taco place, a homemade pasta place.
That's awesome.
A Thai place. Like, there's so much right there. In that little, there's a steakhouse all in Tradition Square.
It's very cozy.
If you can't find something good to eat in that square, it's on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing I do want to go back to the KVJ horror movie, we do need a theater, and I know that a lot of people own these private theaters. If you guys are interested in having a screen the movie, because people are asking, are we going to have a screening? We're going to do an event, all of that stuff.
I think they sold the Kelsey Theater. New owners.
They do have new owners. You've been there, Kev, the Kelsey Theater? I love it there.
I don't think I've been inside of that now.
It's so cute. I love that theater.
It is, that plaza's been there since I was a kid. I mean, it's always been there, and it's a really cozy area to do a live show. I mean, that place would be a great podcast for KVJ.
I agree.
We need to look at it. It's in Lake Park.
And there's new owners. I know we've worked with the old owners and tried to work it out, and we could never work it out. But it'd be great to work it out with the new owners.
It's just fun to screen the movie in a legit theater, especially if KVJ Nation's in it. We'll all be on the big screen together having fun.
In your hometown.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. We were supposed to do a birthday snack pack show. We hadn't performed in 5 years. We were going to be doing a show on my birthday, May 10th of last year, and then COVID hit. We were all ready to go and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did that for so many.
COVID, man. And we're still in it.
Yeah. We are, Virginia.
I can't smell anything or taste anything again. Oh, fuck me.
I think you need to jar your system and get some more shitty whiskey like you did the other day.
I'm drinking peanut butter whiskey when I get home today.
That might be too yummy.
It is good.
You need some disgusting, strong.
She is right. The shit that we tried on the podcast.
It was awful.
I didn't know it was awful. It had remnants of grape jelly. It's all I could remember.
Somebody said you need to try that. What's that, Pacquiao chip? The challenge? You get the one chip?
But those are so expensive. We looked into buying
one. Yeah, right. They're like $40 or something.
I thought it was $75 when I was trying to get it.
Just take a bite of a ghost pepper. It's the same fucking thing.
I don't know, man. They really tout this chip being holy fuck of chips.
Yeah.
The heat's supposed. I mean, you see people do it and they fall over. Now, are they doing it for the camera? I don't know. Right.
Go to the source. Eat the pepper.
Okay. Yeah, we should try it. If somebody gets this one, yeah, you're right. It's not worth $75.
I would buy it, Kev. I just didn't think they were available. I tried to buy it a couple times, and they weren't selling them.
Okay.
They weren't easy to get, they said.
Okay. Some emails that we got here today. I got this email said, Kev, sorry your mom's had the bad COVID in the hospital. Heart's breaking for you. Admire your courage, faith, and bravery. My brother's been going through a bad bout of the virus, along with my niece's mom. They both received their first round of monoclonal treatment and overnight went from being at death's door to feeling worlds better. Hope your mom has access to similar treatment so that she can fight back. This thing is no joke. I went from feeling that it was just a bad flu to understanding how bad this illness actually is overnight because of my poor brother. Kid's in his late 20s. He runs 20-something odd miles on the beach like it's nothing, too. hang in there and know how much I and all the other Nationers revere and respect you for all that you do. Thank you very much, Jess with Waterfront. Yeah, it is. I'm right there with her. I have a new perspective. It's the Delta variant. It is a different thing than that old COVID that we used to look at, and it has spun me around and changed my opinion on it greatly as well. I don't think it's the same thing, honestly. I don't think it's the same damn thing.
It feels very different.
It's very different.
And it's got different targets. If you think that you're safe, I would really go talk to your doctor and make sure, because it's got different targets now.
Yeah, it does. Like I told you earlier on the show, shout out to a buddy of mine that I just seen on social media. His daughters had posted. He passed. He's like my age, healthy, all that kind of good stuff. And I was like, whoa, how about that?
Have you heard anything about your mom today with your dad?
I haven't. My dad, I think my dad hit a wall a little bit with it. So
it's exhausting.
It was. It's tremendously exhausting. And so I'm not hitting him up. I'm going to text him a little positivity here and not really grind him about it.
That's why I didn't hit you up yesterday. I didn't want to bother you.
It's all good.
I know it's kind of heavy, or it's very heavy, I should say, but I don't want to bother you with it because I wanted updates too.
My dad was, because what happens, and this is with anybody, is you get a report and you think it's positive. You're like, okay, we're trending the right direction. And then the next report, I remember this when my wife and I were, when she was pregnant, and we had all those issues. And I was dread every time we went in there, because you're just like, okay, what now? And
you guys had a miscarriage. It's right.
We really struggled with it. We had a lot of issues going on with that. It was really tough for us. And man, it tears your heart out. And so, I think Dad's he's mentally numb, you know, and so it's tough to, you don't want, it's weird. You don't want to get positive. I'm trying to, keep hope for everybody, keep that all alive, but I'm giving him a little bit of a break. She's on the ventilator, and that's about all we know. And like I said, I got a whole checklist of what she's been given. I believe she's been given that monoclonal that you're asking about. Like I said, it's on my list, and that was one that was on there. I think that's a yes on that. Had no effect on her.
I think you have to give the monoclonal early.
Yes, and there's some things that, she just missed the mark on. That was another thing that I had, I've been reading a lot on all these treatments, and thanks, people are sending them. I've been sending them to my dad and asking if he'd please at least talk to the doctor about doing it for Mom. And the one that I had just sent them, they decided, they didn't want to go with that treatment. I'm like, okay, hey, you're making the medical decisions. But it's good to see. But yeah, what I'm reading a lot of them say in the first 5 days. So, people were thinking it's something else, and here's kind of the whole thing. This email's just like it. Cheryl sent this in, and she said that the story your mom literally mirrors my parents. I was on the phone with my mom a few weeks ago, and she proceeds to tell me that my dad has a fever, chills, and a headache. He's got COVID, I told her. Of course, she was silent. She called me 2 days later to tell me that it wasn't COVID, it was a UTI. Only 3% of men worldwide, in the entire world that is. And my dad has a UTI? Well, lo and behold, a week later, my mom thinks she's got a cold, chills, aches, cough, etc. After a virtual phone call with the doctor, they are both diagnosed with COVID. They live here in Florida, but my dad is from Ohio. My mom is from South Dakota. Republicans through and through. They will not get vaccinated because their church and Facebook is feeding them nonsense about the vaccine and a protein and immune system, blah, blah, blah. My dad went to work sick, and his employees freaked out that he was there, and he had the nerve to yell at them.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what else to do. They won't listen to me or my brother. They are so unreasonable and are putting others at risk. Sorry for the long email. I just wanted to share my story so that you're not alone. Yeah, I witnessed the same weird phenomenon where, Dad was like, hey, I tested positive. I asked Mom, I'm like, do you have COVID? Did you test positive? And she wouldn't even respond, wouldn't answer. And like I said, her sister, the colonel, she was still like, I think your mom's just got a bad bout of bronchitis. I'm like,
if your dad has COVID weird. And your mom is now sick, chances are your mom has COVID, and you got to get this thing early.
Yeah, and so my mom was like, I'll just get a Z-Pack, I'll be good. And then when that didn't work, and that's 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah. And then
there goes your window of catching it early.
Then she decided to go with cough medicine, and then it was that point. Her doctor's like, what are you doing?
So she's probably been battling this for almost a month.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
didn't realize it was that long.
I didn't know it was, my mom was just, she was, because again, the problem for us is she has chronic bronchitis, so you don't get alarmed. And she was like, yeah, I got the bronchitis back. I'm like, okay. So didn't think much about it. And, it was probably 3 weeks, my aunt had said. So, that's part of it. Jennifer said, I just want to reach out after listening to the podcast because you all touched on something that I've been feeling for the last few months. The whole pandemic has left me with a feeling of a constant state of existential crisis. I'm 45, a single mom of 2, hates her job, loved it before COVID. I hate where I live, native born and raised here in Florida. I swear that I die here. The political fiasco, COVID debates, it's all left my family in a bunch of shambles. Like Jason had said yesterday, though, I believe so much relies on hope, and I feel with today's temperature of the world around me, hope seems to be drifting further and further away. I removed myself from social media over a year ago, and I thought that would help, but I hear the exhaustive vaccine mass debate and political yammering at work, at the gas stations, restaurants, just so hard to escape. I'm short of quitting my job, selling my house, and leaving everything I've ever known here in South Florida and just moving, even possibly to another country. I think Jaybird's right. We can't put the genie back in the bottle, so if we can't do that, where do we go from here? How do those of us that have lost almost everything find our pre-COVID peace? I know there are so many more than I would like to admit feel this way. What are your thoughts on finding that pre-COVID peace and unity that so many need?
I love the email. I agree with you.
Yeah. I think the one thing is that it all starts with us. You control what you can control. You've got to find your own joy, your own peace. You got to find little things in the day that make you happy and realize that this life is worth living. That's step one. Bring yourself some light and some joy. And then step two is you be some light and some joy to other people. I am trying to leave every person that I come in contact with now better than when I last saw them. I'm trying to give them some positivity, something great to lift them up. I'm trying to make them feel better. And I think that so many of us, we've gotten to this point, and I see what it is. And boy, it really clicked to me because, I'm really in this now and I had been. I told you about the whole QAnon thing I was going on with my mom and the Colonel and everybody else.
Fighting and no.
Yes. And you know what it is? I started looking at this. I'm like, wow, this is all just brainwashing stuff. And I looked at the parallel of this. Remember in Star Wars, Jaybird, when the Emperor is working on Anakin and he's bringing him to the dark side? What he starts with is he just starts kind of putting a little bit of a wedge. He starts finding an enemy. He's like, oh, you can't trust them. There's lies. There's deceit. And then he starts feeding in on this hate. And what I observe and what we're doing, the media is really doing this, and the way the politics are going, you find someone to demonize and they become your common enemy. The last conversation I had with my mom, she's still blabbering on with no breath about Fauci. And look, I don't know anything about him. I don't want to get into it about him, but she has a list now of people. She has hate in her because she's heard all these things. And every time I hear from the Colonel, it's their names that they throw out, and it's like they're the devil themselves, these people. And what the media has done, I see all this stuff, and it's right wing, left wing, it's everything. But they find someone to focus on to hate, and then they just keep feeding your emotion of hate. Hate is toxicity, and we just keep adding hate to ourselves. We find someone to hate, and this is really how the brainwashing works. You saw it in Star Wars with Anakin, turns into the dark side. You saw it with Hitler in World War II with the Jews. And what it is you find someone that is the common enemy that we all hate. And then you just start adding more hate and more hate and more hate. And then you twist somebody to a point, like I said, even before the COVID, my mom started to become somebody I didn't recognize. I'm just like, and we're Christians. We're supposed to be about loving people and finding God sees something great in everybody. He sees you for who you are. He sees through all your flaws. I'm like, we're losing that. I'm like, Mom, this is not what we do. We're not here to hate other human beings the way that you're talking about this. It's all negative and nasty. Start finding the positive in people. What happened to us?
I 110% agree with everything you're saying.
She got brainwashed.
And the other thing I would say, too, and it's always weird for us to call out the media because technically we are in the media, but I'm talking more about news and I don't know. It just seems like there's not anything with nuance anymore. You can't be somebody that hears something but has kind of like multiple. You can like something, not agree with something, also have a different opinion with it. It's almost kind of like the media is created. It's either this or it's that. There's nothing in the middle. You can't listen to that side. You have to pick a team or a side, whether it's about COVID, whether it's about a mask, whether it's about a candidate. It's weird how it's all about, there's no more nuance anymore. And I personally believe social media has been a great reason why we've become divided as people. We are it's so easy to get messages out and make someone, said it yesterday, you can make anyone feel like an asshole now at any given moment you want. It's making us fuck faces.
Well, and the thing that we can easily do is we can go and find news that defends our position. And we are not out there looking for facts. We're looking for something to back up the opinion that we already have. And that's what social media does. Because that's the thing that I've found, and I have tried to get as much information, but I have found that whether it be vaccines, masks, is COVID even real? You can find stories and some stats or whatever somebody's pulled out there to back up your side of the argument. So that's why as you go through this, you got to maintain that level of flexibility and an open mind. And that's why I said your conversation should be happening with your doctor to say, let's look at all of my conditions. Here's what I'm hearing. Here's what I'm seeing. What do you think? And hopefully you have a good doctor. And if you don't like what he's saying, go get a second opinion. That's always something that we've always done with doctors.
Totally.
And talk to them and compare the notes of what they're all saying.
I mean, Mars got such a great point in the chat room. Imagine if Charles Manson had a social media account. That's what I'm talking about. People like that didn't have the reach like they used to.
But people that are just as twisted already do.
Yeah, it's bizarre now. And now you can get so fucking tough person muscles behind a keyboard and say whatever the fuck you want. And you're noticing it now bleeding into real life.
Sure.
Which is crazy.
So for somebody like Jennifer, and I know so many people feel this way, where you just feel like hope is gone. The world is so nasty. It's on fire. It's crazy. What do? You look for the beauty. Step one. You find the joy. There's still so much beauty and joy in there. And you talk about South Florida. Just the 3 days I took off last week, I'm at the ocean. I'm walking on Palm Beach. I'm looking around. I'm mesmerized with every day. I'm like, this place is so beautiful.
Playing tourists.
There's so much beauty in the world, and especially in South Florida. And that's step one. Find that gratitude. Find that within yourself. You'll start feeling better. Disconnecting from all the toxicity, plugging into the beauty of the world will make you feel better. Step two, try to make other people feel better. Go out there, empathize with them. Find something positive in them. Try to leave them better than when you found them. And slowly but surely, you start pushing back against the darkness. Be the salt and light. Go out there and shine.
And don't fall for the trick that's going on. That's everyone hates everybody, and guys and girls are against each other, and black people and white people don't like each other. That's fucking bullshit. And the media loves to portray that and loves to make us think we are all at each other's throats, and that's not fucking true. Yeah, there's bad shit out there, but majority of people, I believe in my heart, they want peace. They want to be able to live with everybody and not spread this bullshit that's been going on.
Well, and that's why the peacemakers need to be more vocal. We need to let everybody know that there are positive people out there, because right now all you're hearing is the haters and the negativity. They've got the volume. And that's why people like Jennifer feel this way, because that's all they hear is the toxicity. So people who want to be positive, we've got to be more vocal. We got to stand up, because you can affect people like Jennifer. She's feeling hopeless.
That's all when you don't have hope anymore, that's when people start getting into that part of depression where they can't get out of. You always have to believe you have hope. It's the one thing that every human has to have.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Jennifer, that's it. I hope you don't move. I hope you don't leave. I hope you can find joy in South Florida and beauty, because there's a lot of it here.
And I don't want people also to think that I don't believe in hope anymore with my comments yesterday. I have moments where I feel hopeless when I start to... the problems you're talking about, when you feel like there's a divide or you feel like everyone's at each other's throat, it does make you feel hopeless. But that doesn't mean you know all hope is lost, because it's not.
Jennifer said, side note, much respect and love to teachers, medical professionals, and first responders who have to deal with this on a much larger scale than I do. I work in local government. I truly do not know how y'all have been mentally keeping it together. You're also underappreciated, underpaid, and deserve the world and beyond for what y'all do. Thank you, Jennifer. It's nice. And again, yes, just a shout out to that my mom even talking on Monday. And I loved hearing that because she was like, they've been so good to me. And she said that probably 4 or 5 times. And I talked to them, and they're so nice. My dad's like, they're so good, and they're so patient, and they're just been wonderful. And I can't even tell you, just knowing that my mom has got people that are treating her that way, to know that she's got that kind of care. So, again, I can't thank you again to Little Smiles for sending them that lunch, because to get them chicken wings, was amazing.
And thanks to V for setting it up, too.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you.
We do it all the time. That's what Little Smiles does. Chip, who started Little Smiles, taught us all that.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing because these doctors and nurses, they are in it. And they are tired.
Yeah.
And they go home and cry at night. And a little bit of chicken wing just brightens up their day. And that is the least we can do for them.
If you're Italian, you'll understand this. We believe everything is... Speaking of hope is through food.
Totally. Not just Italians. I think a lot of people, food is love. Food is sustenance. Food is, I care about you.
Well, it's one of the few things as humans we all have to do. We all got to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep that in mind too. If you know anybody who's in the hospital with COVID, send some treats to their hospital, to their nurses. Find out. All you have to do is find out what room number they're in. And once you know what room number they're in, then you call the hospital and you say, okay, I need the nurse's station that's taking care of room whatever it is, and they'll connect you to the nurse's station that's taking care of that patient. And then you ask the person to answer the phone. You say, hey, I know you're taking care of my friend Bob in room 8. I want to send you guys dinner. Will you ask all the nurses that are working tonight with you what y'all want? And then you go up on DoorDash, Uber Eats. You can call a restaurant directly. However you can get it delivered there. They drop it off at the security there at the hospital because nobody's allowed to go into the COVID unit. They drop it at security, and then when the nurses have time, they come down and grab it. It's so easy, and it's a wonderful thing to do for these healthcare workers.
Mr. J in the chat room nailed it. Food brings people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Free food. I mean, that's just joy.
One more quick note here. Cheryl had sent us. She said, I was listening to somebody texting about getting tested before a concert for COVID, and these are the things you might want to keep handy. She said, I just had to take my daughter to get tested to go back to school, and I took her to AFC Urgent Care. They take walk-ins. We get her results back in 15 minutes. You can either wait for a paper or have them email the results, and my insurance covered it 100%. So, I think that's one thing that if you don't have a strategy, we probably will have a situation in the next 6 months or so where you're going to have to pull a negative COVID test out of your ass. And then, better to know now where you might go than, like I said, the other day, I was faced with, I'm not coming into work tomorrow because you need a negative COVID test. Luckily, I had one, popped it out 15 minutes later. I had it, send the photo, and they're like, okay, you can come into work tomorrow.
Yeah, I think all of us should invest in some COVID tests. Seriously, just keep some at home.
Yeah, so you might have that situation where you're like, oh, crap, I need a negative COVID test and fast. You don't want to scramble at that point to figure out where you're going to go. No. Ahead of time. Get a plan. This email, Kentucky John said, first, we're praying for your mom up here in Kentucky, Kev. We lost my wife's mother last Christmas to COVID. She was the sweetest woman. It's still heartbreaking to her. I do have 2 snack suggestions, though, for the bird with the attached photos. It is the Hostess Crispy Minis.
Ooh, fuck. Yes.
What is this? It says made with real... Oh, cocoa. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see that.
Made with real cocaine.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what does that say? This one looks like it's a s'mores, and the other one's strawberries and cream.
Okay. I see you work in Kentucky, John.
Crispy minis.
And then he also recommends, if you've never had them, Drake's Fudge Dipped Devil Dogs. Have you ever seen those or heard of those?
Oh, Fat Kevin. I could fuck those up in 2 minutes and still want to eat 9 more. Those go down real easy like.
Okay.
That's the worst when you're eating the fattiest shit and you still feel empty inside.
Totally.
Yeah. I got a question here from Kimberly. She said, you're offered $10 million, but you can never drink alcohol again. Do you do it?
I probably don't, only because, as bad as this sounds, there'll be runs where I don't drink, and then there's times where I absolutely need to have a couple drinks in me to be able to go to in front of a building or something. I know it sounds terrible, but I had that terrible anxiety issue where big structures just shut me down. I mean, you've seen it happen. I get paralyzed. If I have a couple drinks in me and I'm relaxed, it's not a problem. So I think I have to keep the alcohol.
Okay. I would take the $10 million. I go find a vacation place and I'd start smoking weed.
Yeah, I take the money.
Yeah.
I give up alcohol with no problem for $10 million.
Fuck, I did it wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
But it's a personal choice.
It's too late now, though. You already made your answer.
I lost my money's gone.
Yeah, it's all gone.
And Kevin's on an island.
But have a good time alone, Alki.
You can't. I haven't been sleeping. You can't ask
It's
me.
just you and your bottle.
Ask me again tomorrow, please.
Sleeping under a bridge. Yeah, great choice.
That was the wrong fucking choice.
Yeah.
Just smoke weed on a farm, Bert.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
You're not going to have to do the show anymore because Kevin's on an island and
Yeah.
I'm in my new mansion.
You motherfuckers are gonna leave. Fuck this.
Oh, I'm sprinting out of here.
Oh man, I feel like if we became millionaires, we would only make the show that much better. We could do all the things we couldn't afford to do before. Could buy or build our own studio.
We could still do something, but it certainly wouldn't be here.
Yeah, well, I think
He's got 10 million. I've got 10 million.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. We're both cutting you off a piece.
That's cool. That's fine. I love it.
Yeah.
I told y'all if I win the lottery, you guys get a piece too.
Of course. Blood in, blood out.
Fuck yeah.
If Kevin wins the lottery, his wife won't let him share with us, though.
That's fine.
Probably not. No,
She would not.
She won't share with me.
She's on an island.
Her, Caitlin, yeah, they're having yeah, somehow I'm still here working. Like, what the hell just happened? How did I just get 10 million and I can't drink alcohol now? What the hell? What just happened?
That is twisted.
That's exactly what'll happen. It's exactly what'll happen. A couple of ideas here. Shock collar joke jury. Denny's get shocked whenever a joke bombs. Oh my gosh. No, that's terrible.
I can't.
No, no one likes seeing Denny's get hurt.
Yeah.
They really don't.
No, I would cry.
Yeah. Jaybird teaches karate or tries to mimic famous karate moves.
I don't fucking hate that.
Okay.
He's on the way.
How's it going with your YouTube karate lessons?
Just waiting for one of these limp dick motherfuckers to step to me at an event. You'll see. Just kidding.
Please, if there's any limp dick motherfuckers out there listening, mind stepping?
You're going to see me try to block a punch and then proceed to get my ass kicked for 30 minutes.
By a preteen.
No, I could beat a preteen.
This idea here, Virginia guesses which celebrities had plastic surgery based on pics.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun game. I play that all the time on my own time.
Fun to listen to, though?
Yeah, you can make a video.
Okay. Yeah. Fun to watch.
We do videos.
Shut up, Rapunzel.
I love the hair nicknames. Keep them coming.
And Mike says, I love hearing papers shuffling during a Dunkin' Donuts commercial at 8:30.
You motherfucker. Yeah, I definitely got...
All the microphone caught was, oh, crap. And
Oh, crap.
That's
and
how,
paper shuffling.
So your Dunkin's commercial starts with, oh, crap, paper shuffling, 7 seconds of dead air, and then Dunkin'.
Dunkin', keep it flight and luffy.
Y'all, I think I moved some donuts today. I think I think it worked. People remember the mistakes, Virginia.
I know.
We have a KVJ draft out there today for you to check out. It is the best breakup songs. That's what we're doing. Go to our Facebook and our Instagram to find that and vote on who you think drafted out the best three. Jennifer thought you should do the best stalker song draft. I just don't know how many there are. There's Every Breath You Take by the Police.
Which is also a breakup song.
Yes, but how many other stalker songs do you have?
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Okay, two.
And I got no privacy.
Oh, I'm just an average man who lives an average life.
That'd be the only thing. We need, with any draft we do, we need 15 in a category.
Okay.
5 of us, 3 apiece.
It's a big load.
We did a lot of singing today, like impromptu singing today.
We did.
Yeah, we did more of that.
We burst into song. I love it.
Oh, yeah, some good fun stuff, huh?
The worst is when you bust into the song on the air and nobody sings with you and you let it go for a little bit and then you're like, is this thing on? I don't know if I should have sang.
That happens to me every time, and I don't give a shit.
I like it, Witch. Fuck it.
He's got to go with it.
I gotta sing. I got a song in my heart, bitches.
Song in my heart.
You got a song in your heart, you got to sing it.
You do.
All right, well, we got one more day. Tomorrow we will be singing again. Song Association game will be happening. So we'll sing on a Friday. Have a little bit of fun. Yeah, get you into the weekend. Appreciate you all being here, except for the 4 people that did a downvote. You know what? Here's a thing. If you don't like it, just get out of it and don't watch it.
The 2 of them might have been, who's the douchebag that disliked the video already? I was in the chat room mixing it up.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering, but we barely put it on for a second. 2 dislikes. Fuck you.
like my rant earlier about the haters.
Yeah.
That's right. Love you all, though. Even the people that downvote. You have a good day. Later.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.